hello from sunny Maui, Hawaii. No, we're not in Hawaii. We're not even close. We're in Fells Point, Maryland. I've noticed the tension drop. I mean, people just getting away from Facebook or Instagram or whatever the hell you're on. Just poop, 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 poop. If they thought it was coming from Hawaii, they'd say, hey, this is Hawaii, this is big time stuff. Now it's Fells Point, Maryland. But anyway, my name is Kraig Greff. Tonight I'm playing piano. But I have a co-host, and actually the host of the program now is John KANE. John was the #1 person, sorry about the traffic, #1 person to play on our show a year and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
He was the first one, and now he's back in the hosting chair. Let's all give him a round of applause and a nod of bereavement.
Not a bereavement, eh?
Yeah.
Hi, yes, it is true. I was the first artist on Mice in the Attic. My name is John KANE, and we are back after a long hiatus due to unforeseen circumstances. We all know why that is. We have our masks. We are social distancing. Tonight's episode is actually very special because Kraig Greff is the co-founder and co-creator of Mice in the Attic. And he is one hell of a piano player and even better accordionist. He's a remarkable accordion player, let's just say that. But tonight Kraig's going to be playing some piano for us, original arrangements. And
now I gotta say one thing. My piano playing
gab,
has gone a little bit downhill because, as I'm sure every musician has, because you're not able to play live.
I agree with that, Kraig.
And my playing, which used to be unbelievable at a certain point, it's not so unbelievable anymore. I'm making mistakes. I'm doing things. I'm unsure of myself, and it's all because I'm not playing enough.
Yeah, I think anybody with a trade right now, and anybody that's unable to work and exercise their skills, has definitely suffered. Mine has. I've tried to stay busy with playing guitar and writing songs, but yeah, if we're not able to get out and exercise that, it's certainly gonna diminish in quality. So we have to do our best to keep practicing and keep ourselves happy with what we enjoy doing. And I know that playing with Kraig has been an experience, a very positive one, with Crawdaddies. The Crawdaddies has been 4 years that I've been with them, and I've gotten to see Kraig just wail on the piano and, of course, the accordion. And he's really a remarkable player. He knows his stuff. So we're going to talk to him and see if he can tell us about some of his exploits in the music industry and what got him to where he is, and as well as listen to his great piano playing. He might say otherwise, but he's the one and only time this is the one and only time you'll see Kraig Greff being modest. So
thank you,
soak it in, folks. You're welcome, Kraig. I'm happy to be here.
Maybe I will. See? Better.
John, you're only partially dressed.
Oh man, I didn't know we were. That was fantastic. So tell me about some of those songs and how they came to be. Well, I know that Songs for a Little Person may have been written about the one and only precious Jackie Greff.
That's for my wife. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be shit.
Whom you love so much. That's right. So there was Songs for a Little Person. There's
Three Blind Mice.
Guess
what that has to do with Jackie? Mouse Like Blues. Well, guess what that? Well, we call each other mice. So Mouse Like Blues, probably, and then Talk. It's just because I got tired of naming things after
mice, rodents.
After Jackie.
Marsupials.
I mean, I could have called it Rat, but that wouldn't have fit.
And since you guys don't know, Mice in the Attic, Kraig and Jackie Greff, Kraig's better half.
You said that.
Well, she might agree with me, but you know, I still love you, Kraig. They have their little nicknames for each other, Mouse and Mousy and Mouse. And why is that? Why'd you guys come up with that?
Because Jackie works like a mouse.
She keeps it all together for you, eh, Kraig?
She's a remarkable person.
She really is.
What can I tell you? Well, yeah.
Kraig, out of those songs, which is your favorite, you think? Just like maybe structurally, arrangement?
For a Little Person. I came up with that one because it's just made up of D and E flat, E flat 7th, D minor and E flat 7th, a bar of each, and it just moves really nice.
Yeah.
It just I don't know. It just something that I like the way it moves, so it became a tune, and you know.
Yeah, I know.
Hear it and judge for yourself.
Kraig, so I've known you for about 4 years, and I've gotten to play with you and see you in all different kinds of venues. And,
lucky you.
Yeah, you could say that. How old were you when you started playing?
Just before my 5th birthday, I gave it a whack.
And it was the accordion first, was it not?
Accordion was first, and then piano quickly followed. My dad got me in the lessons on the accordion, and then we got a piano, and then we had a Wurlitzer 4300 organ. So about the same time, I had all these little things, all these little music makers in my house.
And you had told me one time, so you suffered from pretty bad allergies when you were young, is that right? And then so you kind of had to stay inside.
Basically,
more so than the other kids. Would that?
My room was a clean room. Basically, I was forced inside, and I practiced, and I'd practice up 15 hours a day. Now, you think that's nuts, but it's a true story.
You don't have much else to do.
Well, you have nothing else to do, so might as well practice another hour.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
See, I think that's serendipitous in a way, Kraig. That what was such a curse as a youngster, not being able to go outside, turned you into a remarkable musician.
One of the things that most people don't realize, and as far as about music, people say, how do you learn how to do that? Practice.
Practice.
It's just
right?
practice. That's it. That's all there is to it. He who practices the most sounds the best.
Yeah. And it's not only practice makes perfect, it's perfect practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people don't know what they practice.
But they're practicing all wrong.
That's right. That's very good. Wow.
How old were you when you started playing professionally, Kraig?
11.
What was that?
My first gig was at the Ivanhoe restaurant in Springfield, Illinois, on the corner of Wabash and Route 4.
What were you playing and with who?
I was playing with a drummer. I can't remember the drummer's name. I thought about this the other day. And I played accordion.
Okay.
And he was a really good drummer. And I look back on it now and think, man, was he smooth.
Yeah.
He was really good. And he made me sound 3-4 times as good as I was. It was so smooth and you just wanted to play music with the guy.
Yeah. I can relate to that when having since been with the Crawdaddies and all you guys being such fantastic musicians in like every number of way, that it makes me want to play better. And the better that, the better one person plays, it's a vortex of reciprocity, if you will.
Ice cream cone, I call
yeah,
it.
sure. It's the ice cream cone, even if you want to call it that. It's the ice cream cone of talent that we call being in bands together. Well, that's cool, Kraig. How old were you when you really thought to yourself, like, I've, made it? Or like, what was a really an instance that is remarkable to you?
When I was 19 years old, I had to get my friend Paul Osmers had a gig for me in New York. And I realized I was born in Springfield, Illinois, and I lived in Verdon, Illinois. And he said I had to be there by such and such date.
Had you left home to play music yet?
No, here's the thing. He says, be here such and such time if you want the gig. And I realized that if I didn't take this gig, I was doomed to playing in Springfield, Illinois and the surrounding area.
Yeah, you realized the opportunity at hand, right?
I just moved to New York. Next stop, Brooklyn.
Before or after the gig, did you play the gig and then decide New York is the place that I have to be? And
No. I packed up my truck, my van, and I still remember driving through the yard and out and on the Route 4 and
that was it.
Springfield, there's a 55 and
no sleep till Brooklyn then, right, Kraig?
Right.
All you younger generation people will get that. I don't know if Mr. Greff here gets it.
I no sleep to Beastie Boys.
There you go. Hey, Kraig Greff still with it after all these years. Still in with
one of the Beastie Boys his brother was a salesman with Procter & Gamble.
Is that right?
Yep.
He's the gift of gab, this guy. He's got it all. Kraig, you've told me a lot of stories about your travels, like where you've been and...
You want one of the best ones?
Yeah, what were some of the best, like, what were some of the most fun cities around the world? He's been all around the world playing, so...
But anybody can do that.
Right.
This one here kind of speaks for itself. John Gotti, who everybody knows, is the movie right now with John Travolta. His bodyguard was Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Yeah.
And he was notorious for being the most evil,
toughest guy,
tough son of a bitch that he was going. I mean, this guy was. So we used to go to I think it was the White Dove. I remember whatever the name. But we went to the White Dove, and Paul and I always went. We always wore a sport jacket and nice pants and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't some seedy dive, right?
No. And we heard a lot of great jazz players there. But I went into the White Dove one time with Paul and I, and we had on jeans. And the guy says, "No dungarees, boys." And he picked us both up. And I weighed 252 pounds, and he picked me up like he picked up a cup full of raisins.
Yeah.
And Paul, I forget what Paul weighed, 175, 180. Picked him up, and both of us together, walked us over to the door and lightly tossed us out.
And who was that?
That was Sammy the Bull Gravano.
And Paul, you can't tell because he's sitting down, but Kraig is what, 6'6"?
6'5".
6'5".
So,
and Sammy the Bull was probably what, 5.5, 5'5". He was a little guy, but tough as nails, right?
He was something. The guy that played on Paulie Walnuts on the Sopranos was friends with my friend Paul. And Paul asked him this is where this came from, who was the guy that probably tossed Kraig out. He says, that was Sammy the Bull Gravano. He was working.
That's lucky. You're lucky. So that's all he did to you, Kraig.
That's what he said. He says, luck of the Irish. He says on that one. He says because you wore great pants and stuff before, that's probably why he did it.
Yeah, he'd probably seen you in there before then.
Yeah.
And you probably had a decent reputation in New York at the time as being a player and stuff. It wasn't your first.
He was. Yeah,
but you weren't new to New York per se at the time that this happened, but still.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Sammy the Bull Gravano, John Gotti's bodyguard, had it out for Mr. Greff here. All because of dungarees.
Just toss me like I weighed,
and you know what's funny?
5
I
pounds.
still have never seen Kraig wear dungarees or jeans since I've known him, so maybe that left a lasting impression with Mr. Greff here. It's been a pleasure listening to you and playing with you these years, and I'm happy to call you my big buddy.
Thank you.
And we hope you guys have enjoyed listening to Kraig Greff talk about his songwriting and his exploits with gangsters. And we just want everybody to stay happy, stay healthy, most importantly, stay 6 feet apart.
Yep.
This has been...
And wear your mask.
And wear your mask.
I have a mask right here. I'm going to put it on right now.
So, without further ado, we mask up. This has been a very special edition of Mice in the Attic featuring the co-founder and co-creator of Mice in the Attic, Mr. Kraig Greff. Everybody stay safe.